So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
I'm Jessica, and this is K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. Except today's a little different. We are back for season 7 of Taebak. I can't believe that we are in a brand new year, 2026, and I'm kicking it off in a different way. I don't have a guest with me today. It's a solo pod, and I'm going to be finally delivering on something that has been asked of me time and time again, and it's to do a beginner K-dramas episode. Before we get into it, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many more. And if you like us, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Come and check us out on social media to stay up to date on the latest episodes and reviews. You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Daebakpod, Daebakpod. Lastly, if you are a fan, please consider becoming a patron. It is such a great way for you to get involved and show your support. You can check out the page on patreon.com/Taebakpod. And shout out to our patrons: Curtis, Bale, Alana, Lorna, Sammy, Julia number 1, Caitlin, Tenmei, Marta, Delphia, Maria, Sarah, Pam, Julia number 2, Nadira, Matthew, Lauda, Christine, and Kate B. Thank you so much for supporting the show, and I love interacting with you guys. There's been a few episodes that came very quickly in Q4 of 2025 that I loved recording and talking through with you guys. It was a lot of fun. So beginner-friendly K-dramas, this is going to be, if you've never watched a K-drama, start here. That is what I want this episode to be, and I know that I had a lot of trouble coming up with the dramas, to be quite honest with you, because I feel like at any point you can enter K-dramas. There's just so many. When the right one finds you, it finds you is kind of my mentality. But I also know that there's a lot of gateway dramas, and then there's a lot of dramas that are more conducive to someone who is unfamiliar with Korean dramas, with the culture, with the tropes and the nuances. I didn't want this episode to be, here are the best K-dramas, because I feel like that's counterintuitive as well. And I also didn't want this to be a start with these classics, because I don't think that works for everybody either. I think this is more of, these shows teach you how to watch K-dramas. They're a little more palatable. And I don't mean simple. I don't think beginner-friendly necessarily means the dramas are simple. I think beginner-friendly, to me, in my mind, it means low friction, high emotional payoff. So consider me a guide, not a gatekeeper. If you've never watched a K-drama, or if you're looking to get back into it because you didn't really click with the first one you pressed play on, this is the episode for you. Please note that I am not going to focus on directors, screenwriters, or actors. I do that a lot in every single deep dive review on the Taebak feed, but if you're new to K-dramas, then you're not going to care. If something resonates with you, then you can search up anything you want to know after the fact. It's been a long time since I considered myself a beginner K-drama watcher. I want this to be maybe a little educational, and I do kind of want to make this for everybody, and also knowing in the back of my mind that a lot of people might press play on a K-drama and it's a little silly. There's a lot of tonal chaos to it, genre blending. It's this, that, and the other. It's a crime drama, but it's a romance, but it's this, and then it has slapstick moments. I think that might overwhelm someone. I also feel like the deep melodramas, the trauma-heavy romances might also scare someone off. So some of the criteria for me choosing the dramas that I'm going to talk about in this episode, it had to have a clear genre. It has to, in a way, explain its own tropes, reward emotional investment quickly. It does not require cultural fluency, and has a strong hook. By episodes 1 or 2, you are invested. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. I'm going to give you a few gateway dramas, which are dramas that a lot of people in the community watched, and that was their first drama, and it got them to stay. It got them to stay here in K-Drama land. So I'm going to give you a few of those, and then I'm going to segue into basically the master list by mood. I'm going to give you the category / genre, and if you're in the mood to watch that genre, then these are the dramas for you. So without further ado, here we go. Here are the gateway dramas. The first one I'm going to talk about is Crash Landing on You. It's 16 episodes long. It originally aired December 2019 through February 2020, and each episode is about an hour and 25 minutes. A little on the long side, if you ask me. The genres are military, comedy, romance, political. The synopsis is: a South Korean heiress accidentally paraglides into North Korea and falls in love with a stoic army officer who risks everything to protect and return her home. Why should you watch this? It's a wildly ludicrous way to do a Romeo and Juliet type romance with the Montagues and the Capulets replaced with North and South Korea. You will get a lot of the extremes between the two, and it's all inside this clean rom-com structure. It's high stakes for most of the show, and it has universal appeal. This did gangbusters when it hit streaming during the pandemic. It's definitely a gateway K-drama for a reason. There is a full episode up on the Daebak feed already. We covered it back in season 1, so if you want a deep dive, you can find it. The second gateway drama is Business Proposal. It is 12 episodes long. It aired in 2022. Each episode is about an hour. The genres are comedy, romance, drama. The synopsis is: a food researcher agrees to impersonate her wealthy friend on a blind date to scare off a CEO, only to discover he's her new boss and very serious about marriage. Why watch? This is very fast-paced at 12 episodes, very familiar tropes, really great couples. The main couple are great, and so are the secondary couple. It teaches you K-drama humor without overwhelming you. I did guest on the Swoon Diaries podcast for a review of Business Proposal if you want to listen to that. The third gateway drama is Extraordinary Attorney Woo. It's 16 episodes long. It aired also in 2022. Each episode is about an hour and 10 minutes. The genres are law, romance, life, drama. Synopsis is: a brilliant rookie lawyer on the autism spectrum navigates her first law firm, complex cases, and new relationships while challenging assumptions about competence, empathy, and success. So each episode is going to cover a different case of hers, and so you get a lot of Korean society in there. It's very character-driven storytelling. You have a wonderful lead actress. There's emotional clarity to it, and I don't think you need to know anything, at all. The show meets you where you are. It is quite light if you're coming from the law shows here in the West. This is very, very light. Virgin pina colada, okay? Like club soda. We did cover it on the podcast as well, so there's an episode for that. The next gateway drama is Squid Game, seasons 1 through 3. Season 1 is 9 episodes, aired in 2021. Season 2 is 7 episodes, it aired in 2024. And then season 3 is 6 episodes, it aired in 2025. The episodes are all an hour long. The genres are action, thriller, mystery, drama. The synopsis reads: hundreds of desperate, debt-ridden contestants risk their lives in a series of deadly children's games, testing the limits of morality, survival, power, and human endurance as the competition expands from a secret tournament into a global system of control. Why should you watch Squid Game? So, it busted onto the Netflix platform in such a way that it forced the industry wide open. It's changed a lot of things for better or for worse, and I'm definitely not going to go into that at this point. But it is an incredible feat of creativity and storytelling, and also a cultural touch point. It's definitely entered the zeitgeist. It put K-dramas on the map in the West in a way that we've never seen before. So if you're looking for a darker K-drama, something with bite, something with grit, Squid Game is your ticket. Each season does have its own episode review on the podcast feed. My buddy Miguel and I returned each season to immortalize our thoughts and critiques. The next up is Boys Over Flowers. This might be a little controversial, but Boys Over Flowers is 25 episodes long, aired originally in 2009. I think that makes it the oldest drama that I am recommending on the beginner-friendly K-dramas list. Each episode is an hour and 5 minutes. The genres are comedy, romance, youth, and drama. The synopsis reads, a working class girl transfers to an elite high school and becomes entangled in a turbulent romance with a domineering chaebol heir and his powerful friend group, F4. So why should you watch Boys Over Flowers? It's an iconic classic K-drama. It's beloved by many generations of K-drama fans, and it was so successful upon its release. It made the entire cast household names and was a fantastic export to other surrounding countries in Asia. It's been remade several times by various countries, and it showcases a metric ton of tropes that people loved at the time and still love. So some of those tropes, I'll read out some tags: rich man, poor woman, possessive male lead, love triangle, school bullying adapted from a manga, reverse harem, high school, mean male lead, disapproving parent, male chases female first. So this could be a controversial pick on this list because it is quite dated. It reflects the early 2000s romance fantasies and social norms, and it really clashes with how audiences read stories and interact with stories now. You know, this romance is kind of built on cruelty, and that's obviously no longer romanticized. We've got, some emotional manipulation, verbal abuse, social punishment, which equates to public humiliation. And these toxic male leads, possessive male leads are just no longer in fashion anymore. Of course, this show exhibits extreme wealth fantasy without, really saying anything about it. And it glorifies this chaebol excess, these riches and excess from the rich and elite. Dramas nowadays really do a lot more critiquing than just he's rich, she's poor. They really interrogate wealth and privilege a lot better. While this show is really fantasy fulfillment, right? Boys Over Flowers is also, suffering as proof of love on both sides. The male and female lead are both going through a lot. Their love is constantly tested. So the love equals suffering trope, again, people don't really like normalizing harm is, I guess, how we would view it today. The way it's filmed, the style, the pacing, it is very late 2000s. So all these things taken together, the red flag discourse, the consent language, power imbalance critiques, all of these things make people really sort of upset when they watch Boys Over Flowers for the first time nowadays, or when they return to it and they rewatch it and they're like, whoa. I want to say Boys Over Flowers being dated doesn't mean that it lacks value. It is still a gateway drama, still hugely influential. And it probably should be viewed more as a cultural artifact, right? It's kind of a snapshot of what romance was allowed to look like back then. And lastly, bringing up the rear on the gateway dramas, we have Strong Woman To Bong Soon. Again, a bit of a dated drama, but it's 16 episodes long, aired in 2017. Each episode is an hour and 7 minutes. The genres are action, comedy, romance, and supernatural. The synopsis is: a petite woman with supernatural strength hides her powers while working as a bodyguard for an eccentric CEO, leading to a quirky romance amid a dark crime chase. Why should you watch this? It's a very fun, very light romantic comedy with a central couple that has incredible chemistry. A lot of people still ship these two, even after all these years. I think it's nearly been a decade. It's also a great introduction to tonal shifts in K-dramas, which is to say, K-dramas love to blend and bend genres. So this show does that with this very light and bubbly romance, butting up alongside a series of brutal serial kidnappings. Yes, you heard that correctly.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the strawberry watermelon refresher and the mango pineapple refresher with popping boba. to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? Try them all now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Copyright 2026, The Coca-Cola Company. Sprite is a registered trademark of The Coca-Cola Company.
Why is this dated? It's got some off-color jokes / comedy. It's kind of built on gendered stereotypes. So a lot of the humor leans on, oh, To Bong-soon is so tiny and cute and childlike, but she has immense power. So it's still kind of upholding traditional views on femininity while celebrating this strong woman. You do have a boss-employee relationship, so you got that power imbalance. You got the cartoonish reaction shots, over-the-top sound effects, so like these visual and stylistic cues that are no longer in fashion. And lastly, you got some jokes around masculinity, queerness, and perceived sexuality. Might make you feel uncomfortable. But again, dated doesn't mean bad, it just means dated. And there is a deep dive on the podcast for Strong Woman To Bong-soon if you want to listen back to that after you've given it a watch yourself. So now I'm switching gears. I'm going into beginner-friendly K-dramas by mood, by genre. If you are a romance first-timer, you're looking to get into the romances and the rom-coms, these are going to teach you the tropes. These are the dramas for you. So first up, I have Love to Hate You. It is 10 episodes. It aired in 2023, and it is 52 minutes per episode. The genres are comedy, law, and romance. The synopsis is a fiercely independent lawyer who distrusts men enters a fake relationship with a top actor who's sworn off women only for their battle of the sexes dynamic to turn into real love. Why should you watch this? It's actually quite a grown relationship between two adults versus two people whose frontal lobes haven't developed yet. But it's still adhering to some wonderful tropes like enemies to lovers, fake relationship, contract relationship, and wish fulfillment because she is getting into a relationship with an actor, a celebrity. It introduces you to the Korean entertainment industry and how it's basically built on fostering parasocial relationships with these celebs. Next up, I have Her Private Life. It is 16 episodes long. It aired in 2019, and each episode is an hour and 15 minutes. The genres are business, comedy, romance, and drama. The synopsis reads, a polished art curator secretly lives as a devoted K-pop fangirl, and when her new boss discovers her double life, their professional partnership turns into an unexpected romance. Why should you watch? This is a very good, also spicy, romance between adults, but it's also a look at adoption in Korea, the trauma associated with the loss of your birth culture. It's also, as the synopsis suggests, a story about K-pop fandom, so it's a great intro to this world, this culture, as it were. It feels honest, authentic, and told with love. It's not a perfect show. I have my nitpicks with the third act, essentially, but it is a solid drama. Next up, I have So I Married the Anti-Fan. Wait, now I'm kind of starting to feel like this is all in one vein. But anyway, too late to change it now. So I Married the Anti-Fan is 16 episodes long. It aired in 2021. Each episode is an hour. Genres are music, comedy, romance. The synopsis reads, a top idol and a disgraced reporter are forced into a fake marriage for a reality show, turning public hatred into an unexpected romance. So why watch So I Married the Anti-Fan? It's an idol drama. The female lead actress is part of an iconic K-pop group, SNSD/Girls' Generation, and the male lead in the show plays an idol, not that he is one in real life. The strength of the show lies in the central couple. They are so great, and the female lead is extremely relatable, very practical with a fun but take no shit attitude. The secondary couple is a mess, I have to say, probably the worst part of the show to me, but toxic second male leads aside, this show is a stunner. Up next, I have True Beauty. It is 16 episodes long. It aired from December 2020 to February 2021. Each episode is an hour and 15. Genres are comedy, romance, youth, drama. So the synopsis reads, a shy high school girl hides her insecurities behind flawless makeup, navigating love, friendship, and self-acceptance as her secret identity threatens to be exposed. So why should you watch this? This is a cute high school romance, really sweet. It's not going to break your brain at all. It's maybe an abrupt introduction to a famous second male lead and the associated second male lead syndrome. It's another idol drama with the male lead being an idol from the group Astro. And it's an idol drama in the most traditional or stereotypical sense. An idol drama is a type of K-drama that typically features K-pop idols or popular young celebrities in the main cast, and it's aimed at fans of those idols. Often they prioritize charm, romance, and lighthearted storytelling over heavy themes or complex plots. Idol dramas tend to have pretty people who can't act or are just starting out in this new career path. There is an episode review for True Beauty on the podcast feed if you want to scroll to that later on. My last drama in this romance category is Temperature of Love. So this show is 40 episodes, aired in 2017. Each episode is 30 minutes long. So back then they were kind of doing this fun thing where they would air 2 episodes at a time, filling up basically an hour slot. So you can think of it as being basically 20 episodes of an hour apiece. The genres are food, comedy, romance, life. Synopsis reads, a passionate, aspiring screenwriter and a talented chef navigate the highs and lows of love, career ambition, and the challenges of pursuing their dreams while falling for each other. Well, why should you watch Temperature of Love? I really enjoyed this drama. It's probably a deeper cut than the rest, kind of underrated. It's a great introduction to flawed characters. It's a lot of push and pull between this couple, and I think there's a healthy amount of frustration that you'll feel, particularly toward the female lead. I think if you're looking for an effortless romantic drama with interesting characters and plenty of food porn, then Temperature of Love is just the ticket. New genre, this category is comfort, feel good, slice of life. This is for those of you who want a gentle tone, likable characters, no tonal shock. A lot of these shows might overlap with the romance genre as well. First up, we have Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. It is 16 episodes long. It aired in 2021. Each episode is an hour and 20 minutes. Genres: comedy, romance, life, drama. Synopsis reads, a pragmatic dentist from the city moves to a seaside village and forms an unexpected bond with a charming jack of all trades, discovering love, community, and healing along the way. Why watch Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha? This was such a pleasant watch. It's definitely in my top 5 shows of 2021. These wholesome seaside romances, they work for a lot of people. The male lead is beyond charming. The central romance was all butterflies and sugar cookies and puppies, like all good things. The second couple is really sweet and funny as well. It is not a perfect show. I did have qualms, like the finale being too predictable, but it was still very satisfying. Next up, we have Run On. It is 16 episodes long. It aired from December 2020 to February 2021, almost at the exact same time as Crash Landing on You, so sorry to Run On. Each episode is an hour and 10 minutes. The genres: romance, life, drama, sports. Synopsis reads, a former track star turned sports agent and a subtitled film translator connect over their shared love of language, sports, and personal growth, navigating romance and self-discovery. Why watch Run On? This is a comforting slice of life drama, all of these are, but it features really magical dialogue and larger explorations of self-love and failure. The male lead is adorably childlike, and the second couple are scene-stealing. If I have nitpicks, they're about the pacing of the show. I think it's a bit slow. But this is definitely a beginner-friendly K-drama that does not feel cheesy. It's going to speak to the skeptics, the I tried it once and bounced off viewers. Of course, there's a big fat deep dive on the podcast feed for Run On. Next up, I have My Mister. My Mister is 16 episodes long. It aired in 2018, and each episode is an hour and 17 minutes. The genres are psychological, life, drama. Synopsis reads, 3 middle-aged brothers and a young woman burdened by hardship form an unlikely bond, finding healing, understanding, and quiet resilience amid life's struggles. Why watch My Mister? So this is absolutely one of the best K-dramas of all time. It's kind of hard to pin down as well, hard to describe. It's a dark, melancholy drama, an exploration of Korean workplace culture, failure, being a good person, community, empathy, happiness, and so much more. These performances are so special. They're not over the top. They're not slapsticky. They're not silly. It almost doesn't even feel like they're acting. It's subtle. It's painful. It's simmering under the surface, this deep well of emotion and anguish over your life, your circumstances. And the way that the whole show plays out is slow but purposeful. And in the end, I think you're going to find deep emotional payoff. It's another one that's going to speak to the skeptics, and it's going to speak to those that don't want to watch something that feels cheesy. And I did have the absolute honor of covering this on the podcast. Up next, I have Move to Heaven. Move to Heaven is 10 episodes long. It aired in 2021. Each episode is under an hour, 52 minutes. Genres are life and drama. Synopsis reads, a young man with Asperger's and his estranged uncle run a trauma cleaning business, uncovering the hidden stories of the deceased while learning about life, grief, and human connection. Why watch Move to Heaven? I think this might be a swing to recommend for a beginner. I think maybe I'm, pushing a little bit. But I think there's gold in them hills. Like, you feel me? Like, this is one of the best K-dramas of all time. Just like My Mistress, show is incredibly written and performed. While you won't get the cultural nuances the first time you watch it, things like rooftop apartments, the stigma around orphans, gifting thermal underwear to your parents, and the Sampung department store collapse. None of that stuff is you're not going to really understand it. But I think the show stands on its own. It explores the power of memory and nostalgia and a very impactful journey through grief that leads to true catharsis. I really, really loved covering this one on the podcast as well. There is a deep dive for Move to Heaven. Lastly, in this category of slice of life comfort dramas, I have Hospital Playlist. Season 1 is 12 episodes. It aired in 2020. Each episode is an hour and 30 minutes. That's a little painful for me. Season 2 is also 12 episodes. It aired the very next year, 2021. Each episode is an hour 40. Well, the genres are comedy, romance, life, drama, and medical. The synopsis reads, 5 doctors who have been friends since medical school navigate hospital life, romance, and personal challenges while finding joy and support through their shared love of music. Why watch Hospital Playlist? It's a very light introduction to medical dramas in K-drama land. It's very strong and charismatic friend group, easy to watch them. There's a few dramas from this director and writer that are this specific brand of slice of life drama. And while they all depend on some level of cultural fluency, this one is the most accessible, I think. So if you're a Westerner like I am, then you're definitely not going to understand the significance of the songs, much less recognize them, but it's all very endearing nonetheless. And of course, I do have an episode review for Hospital Playlist Season 1 on the podcast feed. The next genre is for the thriller curious. We're going to cover some thrillers, some mysteries, some crime dramas. So you're going to get some familiar crime frameworks, high stakes, and minimal melodrama in these shows. First up, I'm giving you Signal. Signal is 16 episodes long, aired in 2016, and each episode is an hour and 15 minutes. The genres are thriller, mystery, sci-fi. The synopsis reads, communicating via a walkie-talkie that transcends time, a profiler from 2015 and a detective from 1989 join forces to tackle crimes and injustice. Why should you watch this? This is another well-regarded, critically acclaimed show that did incredibly well upon its release. It's got prestige, energy, strong plotting, and minimal trope confusion. This does not feel cheesy at all. This is definitely another one for the skeptics. And if you don't like romance, this one's the one for you. Loved covering this one on the podcast as well. Next up, I have Flower of Evil. Flower of Evil is 16 episodes long. It aired in 2020, and each episode is an hour and 10 minutes. The genres are thriller, romance, crime, and melodrama. Synopsis: hiding a twisted past, a man maintains his facade as the perfect husband to his detective wife until she begins investigating a series of murders. Ooh. Why should you watch Flower of Evil? So there's definitely some melodrama in the show, first of all, as the genres suggest. It's got retro K-drama DNA, so it's old tropes spun slightly differently. Most people will tell you this is a riveting ride, edge of your seat plot, and I tend to agree with those assessments. There is an episode review up on the podcast feed for Flower of Evil. Next up, I'm giving you Connection. Connection is 14 episodes, aired in 2024. Each episode is an hour. Genres: action, thriller, mystery, crime. Synopsis is: a driven narcotics detective who is mysteriously drugged and haunted by his friend's death teams up with a reporter to unravel the twisted connections, buried secrets, and corruption behind their shared past. Why watch Connection? This is a bit of an underrated gem. It's very, very addictive and thrilling. The cinematography and editing made the watch experience so tactile and visceral. You get a crash course in Korea's war on drugs, the paranoia of living in a society eager to condemn for drugs. This one isn't going to hold your hand, but it's going to keep your attention span for sure. And there is a big deep dive on Connection on the podcast feed. Next up, and lastly for this category, the thriller category, I have Happiness. It is 12 episodes long. It aired in 2021. It's an hour and 5 minutes each episode. The genres are action, thriller, sci-fi, drama. Synopsis reads: set in the near future, a high-rise apartment building is sealed off when an infectious disease breaks out. Trapped inside, the residents fight to stay alive, battling not only the disease, but also the gnawing fear and suspicion that turn neighbor against neighbor. Why watch Happiness? This is basically a form of zombies, so if you're not a zombie person, maybe don't watch. But it's got enough differences, I think, to make the squeamish feel more at ease. Amazing leads with decent chemistry, although the romance is definitely secondary. If you're a fan of power couples, a good cop, bad cop routine, and a hint of best friends to lovers, then this is for you. I love the world building and pressure cooker environment they set up here. It's just a fantastic show full of horrible, flawed people in a survival situation and two righteous leads trying to do the right thing. Next genre is the fantasy curious. If you are curious about the fantasy that shows up in K-drama land, this is for you. These shows are going to have strong myth logic and high production value. First up, we have The Witch's Diner. It is 8 episodes long. It aired in 2021, and each episode is 44 minutes long. Genres: psychological, fantasy, life, supernatural. Synopsis reads: a mysterious witch opens a diner that grants customers' deepest desires in exchange for a steep personal cost, entangling them in dark bargains and unexpected consequences. Why watch A Witch's Diner? This is an urban fantasy that combines the supernatural with slice of life and includes elements of a mystery as well as romance. It's got a bit of food porn in there as well, and the thesis is: be careful what you wish for, because it just might come true. Nothing is for free, and sometimes the easy way is tempting, but wrong. Up next, I'm gonna give you Goblin. Goblin, the Great and Lonely God, is 16 episodes long. It aired from December 2016 through January 2017. It's a winter show. It's an hour and 15 minutes per episode. Genres: comedy, romance, fantasy, melodrama. So the synopsis is: a lonely immortal goblin, cursed with eternal life, seeks a human bride to end his immortality, finding love, friendship, and fate intertwined along the way. Why should you watch Goblin? So, caveat for really all fantasy K-dramas in this category: I don't think K-dramas nail this genre at all. I can count on one hand how many fantasy dramas I truly loved and enjoyed. I think that most of them, most if not all, have super interesting premises but fumble on executing the plot. All that to say, I adore Goblin. I love the show, and even on rewatch, so much of it worked for me. The emotions were still raw, and I loved the romance and the bromance. It's an iconic show that revived the male lead's TV career and made the female lead a household name. It was extremely popular. And now I think its legacy is tarnished by the disproportionate number of voices watching the show in the last 6 or so years and deeming the love story disgusting because of the 12-year age gap between the actors.
Focus Features and Blumhouse present a obsession.
When I have a crush on a guy, no one knows.
Be careful.
I wish Nikki loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
Who you wish for. Obsession is 96% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
I love you so much.
It's blood-soaked nightmare fuel.
What kind of spells you put on her?
You have been warned. Obsession. Rated R. Under 17. Animated without parent. Only in theaters May 15th. With special engagements in Dolby.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
Look, I've litigated and relitigated this numerous times on the podcast already, but my take is this. The actors were two fully grown, consenting adults when they signed on and filmed the show, and the show is not reinventing the wheel when it comes to the fantasy genre having an immortal male lead falling in love with a teenager. So take that what you will. The mythical beings introduced in the show, the Goblin and the Grim Reaper, they're different. They're interesting. You've not seen something like this before. And just like I said on the full Goblin podcast review that you can scroll back and listen to, a lot of questions. It leaves you with a lot of questions rather than answers. So just be prepared for that. You might have to kind of go with the flow a little bit. Last up for this category, you can see I didn't even recommend that many, but the last one I'll recommend is Alchemy of Souls. It is 2 seasons. Season 1 is 20 episodes. It aired in 2022. Each episode is an hour 20. Season 2 is 10 episodes. It aired between December 2022 and January 2023. Each episode is an hour and 21 minutes, around there. Genres: action, supernatural, romance, fantasy. So the synopsis reads, in a world where soul-shifting magic exists, a talented mage trapped in a weak body forms an unlikely partnership with a skilled warrior, navigating love, power struggles, and dangerous secrets across seasons 1 and 2. Why should you watch Alchemy of Souls? So it's a very expensive, very well-acted show with an almost endless amount of world building. I'm sure long-term listeners of Taebak will be stunned to see me recommending this show, but I know a lot of people absolutely love this show, and I'm happy for them. You can be among them too. For those who are wondering and they don't want to go back and listen to the 2-part review for Alchemy of Souls on the podcast feed, the long and short of it is I found that Alchemy of Souls was all style and no substance. It's a strange 2-part or 2-season structure, with the second season for some reason being shorter. The writing is not my favorite, to put it delicately, but a lot of people adore the show. So if you're wanting a high budget, high production value fantasy show with hot people, press play. The last category, and I almost didn't even include this one, but I thought, this is pretty unique to K-dramas. So here we go. It's historicals, aka saguks, spelled S-A-G-E-U-K-S, saguks. The first one I'll bring up is Kingdom. It is 2 seasons. Season 1 is 6 episodes. It aired in 2019. Each episode is less than an hour, 51 minutes. Season 2 is also 6 episodes. It aired the next year, 2020, and it's 45 minutes an episode. Genres are thriller, historical, horror, political. And I almost put this up in the thriller category, but I thought, no, I think the historical aspect is kind of like something that makes it special. And it's the first thing you should say about this show is that it's historical. So the synopsis reads, the Crown Prince of Joseon attempts to investigate a mysterious illness afflicting the king, only to find himself caught in the middle of a deadly epidemic ravaging the kingdom. While trying to save the kingdom from the plague, he must also stop political rivals from seizing power. Why watch Kingdom? Yes, this is a thriller, but this is a historical zombie thriller that is truly cinematic and violent and just completely unassailable. There is virtuosic level of craft and storytelling here. This is an absurdly great zombie thriller and a damn good way of introducing historical royal court politics. Next up, we have Love in the Moonlight. It's 18 episodes long. It aired in 2016. Each episode is an hour. The genres are historical, comedy, romance, and drama. Synopsis reads, a cheerful young woman disguises herself as a eunuch and unexpectedly captures the heart of the crown prince, sparking a tender and politically charged romance. Why watch Love in the Moonlight? This is a sweet, youthful romance. It's a coming-of-age story, a gender bender, which is a subgenre unto itself, especially in K-drama land. And it's a pretty breezy, easy-to-understand plot. It's light, whimsical, and romantic, but with political stakes and some suspense, is very accessible. Next up, we have 100 Days, My Prince, 16 episodes long, aired in 2018. Each episode, an hour and 15. Genres are historical, comedy, romance, and drama. Synopsis reads, a spoiled crown prince loses his memory in a village and must live as a commoner, falling in love with a strong-willed village woman while navigating political intrigue upon regaining his identity. Why watch 100 Days, My Prince? It's also an idol drama with the male lead from the group EXO. God, I love EXO. I love EXO. Romance is really good in this, and the palace drama revolves around a baby daddy scandal of epic proportions, which I found utterly captivating. The show is funny in the way that the Goldie Hawn flick Overboard is funny. It's the same fish out of water amnesia scenario with a spoiled, prissy royal learning the ropes of the proletariat. The cinematography made this haguk look real classy, moody, and elevated. And now we're on to the very last show that I'm going to give you guys. It is Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal. I'll say that again. Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal. It's 20 episodes long, and it aired in 2010. It is the second oldest drama that I am recommending in this entire episode. Each episode of Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal is an hour and 10 minutes. The genres are historical, comedy, romance, and youth. Synopsis reads, a resourceful young woman disguises herself as a man to attend Chosun's elite Sungkyunkwan Academy, the nation's most prestigious Confucian academy, becoming entangled in friendship, romance, and political awakening among the nation's future leaders. Why watch Sungkyunkwan Scandal? Here we go. Another gender bender, cross-dressing adventure. While this is a historical setting and an older drama, at 16 years old, the drama feels really modern in structure and tone. It plays like a school drama, which makes it immediately familiar. By school drama, I mean drama set in the school years. You don't need prior knowledge of Chosun politics, Chosun spelled Joseon, to follow the stakes. Romance and friendship lead the story. The emotional core is found family, youthful idealism. It's a slow burn romance. The politics exist, but they never overwhelm the character-driven storytelling. It's definitely got some clear archetypes, easy to follow conflicts, and the ensemble cast really is stellar. They have wonderful chemistry together. So that's it. Those are all of the beginner-friendly K-dramas that I came up with, and I wanted to chat through with you guys. Once again, the gateway dramas are Crash Landing on You, Business Proposal, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, Squid Game Seasons 1 through 3, Boys Over Flowers, and Strong Woman Tobong Soon. The beginner-friendly romance/rom-com K-dramas are Love to Hate You, Her Private Life, So I Married the Anti-Fan, True Beauty, and Temperature of Love. The beginner-friendly slice of life/comfort dramas are Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, Run On, My Mister, Move to Heaven, and Hospital Playlist. The beginner-friendly thrillers/mystery/crime dramas are Signal, Flower of Evil, Connection, and Happiness. The beginner-friendly fantasy dramas are The Witch's Diner, Goblin, The Great and Lonely God, and Alchemy of Souls. And finally, the beginner-friendly historicals or saguks are Kingdom, Love in the Moonlight, 100 Days, My Prince, and Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal. I really, really hope that you guys get out there and watch K-dramas, that you give one of these a shot. I'm sure some listeners and fans of the show will maybe have gleaned something from this, hopefully, and they can go back and maybe watch some of these that they never got around to, or maybe never even heard of. K-drama land is vast, and there's so many genres, so many subgenres, and there's room for everybody here. Happy to be back and kick off season 7 by welcoming maybe some new K-drama fans. Let me know what you press play on. You know where to find me. Well, That's been our show. I'm Jessica, and this has been the K-Rambles podcast.